One of the great things about my experience is I sat through hundreds and hundreds of interviews with agents from all different types of brokerages, much like myself. And that was where I realized there was so much a similarity in the answers of what is it looking for, which mirrored what was important to me. And all of that came back to kind of those 4 pillars that I call them is agent first philosophy, all things about the agent, community impact, how important that is, technology, and transparency.
Welcome to the Justin Landis Show, your real estate podcast about having conversations, building relationships, and creating freedom. And today we are kicking off a broker series for this month. And we have Romie White with us. Romie, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Justin. I'm super excited.
Well, I'm super excited that you're here. I'm also super excited because you are the newest broker at Bolst because something big is happening.
Yes.
Do you want to tell everybody what big is happening at Bolst?
Yes, super excited that Bolst is growing again. We are opening the Woodstock location office and expanding through Northwest Atlanta. So really excited.
Me too. Bolst Woodstock, here we come. And Romie, you are going to launch and lead this office. I'm super excited about that.
Me too.
You've seen a lot of sides of the industry to get to this point. Give our listeners a little bit of your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started at Atlanta's oldest luxury brokerage. So great foundation in relationships, luxury, primarily it's all about client satisfaction, customer support, the very traditional model, and then went to the total other side of that and went all things innovation, technology, partnered with a team, building that team, and then later building a brokerage with the biggest disruptor in real estate, which is Zillow. So very tech forward, moving fast. So got to see a lot of different sides of that.
And that's both as an agent, as leading the sales team, and then similar to Bolst, launching a brand new independent brokerage with no model and doing it for the first time.
Yes, building from the ground up and seeing how important the systems are in that.
Yeah. All right. So you've spent a good amount of time trying to figure out what your next step was. What was it that led you to Bolst?
Yeah, for me, it was really important. I've talked a lot about alignment. I know everyone hears me say that a lot.
That's your word. I like it. Alignment.
It's my word.
I like
it's
it.
Alignment. Yes. I was very specific and knew what I wanted next. One of the great things about my experience is I sat through hundreds and hundreds of interviews with agents from all different types of brokerages, much like myself. And that was where I realized there was so much a similarity in the answers of what is it looking for, which mirrored what was important to me. And all of that came back to kind of those 4 pillars that I call them is agent first philosophy, all things about the agent, community impact, how important that is, technology, and transparency.
So you came up with these. I love those 4. Say them again, actually, and then I'll get into it. Say them again.
Yes. So community impact.
Yep.
Agent first philosophy.
Yep.
Technology. So innovation, technology, and transparency.
And you came to that by listening to agents and hearing what was important to them, what they were looking for, what their experience was. Let's dive into the first of those 4, which is community impact. I know it was a big deal for you that Bolst recently became a certified B Corp, first brokerage in Georgia to do it. What was so important to you about that?
That was actually one of the key factors for me. Really, really important. That goes back to the why I got into real estate. My background prior to real estate was in sales, and I wanted to be in the most impactful type of sales. And what is a bigger purchase than someone finding their forever home, their first home? So for me, I really, really wanted to make a difference. And the B Corp side of that is the accountability that says that Bolst is doing that. It's not only that we're giving back to the community, that we're making a difference, but that we'll continue to do that.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. That was a big reason that we did it is we said, hey, we've said from the beginning, we're a purpose-based brokerage. We're making an impact. And that it is a really challenging assessment. And we have set ourselves up to live by it and be graded by it moving forward, which kind of help us put our money where our mouth is.
Agreed. I think to those that much is given, much is expected. And there's been times where we've all needed a hand before, and it's our responsibility to do the same. And that's one of the, I think, the key core principles of a good business.
Man, I love that. So let's talk a little bit on the next one, on agent first philosophy. I guess that is counter to brokerage first philosophy. Like, what do you think are the most important things about an agent first philosophy?
Yes. Again, going back to what's the purpose, what's the why of a brokerage? The purpose, in my opinion, of a brokerage is to serve the agent. The agents are our clients. And how can we best serve them? What can the brokerage do more for them and make their lives easier? It's already a challenging industry, particularly for agents out there right now. So whatever we can do, what Bolst can do, what a brokerage can do, it's the why, it's the purpose of that. So all of our things, all of our systems should be going into support of the agent.
As you think about, there's obviously agents need a lot of different things, from brand new agent to experienced agent and all the way in between. But what do you think are the most important things that the brokerage needs to be agent first on?
Agent first, particularly technology, is going to be a topic that we're going into next. But how does that support that agent? A lot of times people think of technology and the shiny new tools, and it ends up becoming a task list. I don't think that that's great technology for agents. It doesn't best serve them. So technology, particularly, how does that actually help the agents? Rev share, we'll go into later. I think that that's super important, of how the brokerage is, again, putting their money where their mouth is and putting that back into the agent. It puts them first. So all things that we do as a brokerage is highlighting the agent and how best serving them and supporting their business.
So let's talk about the technology, because you spend a lot of time around real estate technology, probably more than almost anybody listening. What have you learned from all of that time around real estate technology do you think actually makes an impact for the agent? What really makes an impact technology-wise?
Yes, time saving. If there's anything I think that technology has done well, and people, you hear that all of the time, is it's not meant to replace agents. It's not meant to replace that, but it's meant to use your time more wisely. And what are those tasks that it can take away for you? So I think the most important part of the tech is what tasks that we can take off of our plate and focus on the most important part, which is relationships. And the more that the technology doesn't do that or add more tasks, then it's not good technology.
No, adding tasks is not what technology wants. We do not want to have to download something else, to do something else, to take an extra 5 steps to fill out this form. I mean, that is all technology, but it's not helpful technology. It reminded me, just yesterday, an agent sent me over. We had a little mastermind that I led them through on using Claude Design. And he had put all his branding stuff in there, and he's always had great marketing materials, but the ability to make things now that are custom to the actual property and client in a matter of seconds that are gorgeous. And I was like, oh, this is a substantial step up from what people have done historically. You would have needed like a full-time marketing department, and to even within, to get it turned around in 30 minutes, like that was not realistic, but that is realistic now.
It's incredible. And kind of backtracking, thinking of what are the things that the brokerage to support. I like the options. Every agent is going to be different on that. And on the marketing side, marketing's never been my strong suit. It's not my love language. It's a requirement of this industry. But yeah, using technology, being a brokerage that supports that, and being able to create beautiful marketing from the colors and throwing it into Claude or ChatGPT, that's technology making my life easier.
For sure. Talk a little. You mentioned rev share. So talk a little bit about what you're excited about with that.
Yes. I think, again, that's one of the ways, the best way a brokerage can put money back into the agent's pockets. When we talk about transparency and where does money go into a brokerage, you have all of the different models, the lesser expensive ones where you don't give much, you don't get much. You have the higher end ones where it's hard to see where that value is. And then you have Bolst, where you know exactly where the money is going. It's going into rev share, technology, and community impact. And so the rev share portion, knowing a big part of that goes into the agents, back to the agents, to build collaboration within an office, to reward agents for already doing what we hope and building that great office that they want. It's a great way of giving back.
When we first launched Bolst, I mean, we tried, and there were, like you said, there's a lot of models. There could have been any models. The couple of things that we kept coming back to were like, we want to reward the agents for helping us out, basically. And so the two things that agents can do that are most helpful are sell houses. And so that's how we came up with a cap model. And we're like, hey, you sell a lot of houses. We want to reward you for that, and not continue to charge you. And then secondly, invite your friends, like the brokerage, we want to grow. We want to expand throughout Atlanta, which we're doing here. And so we want to tell people thank you for doing those two things. And that's kind of what we put into the model for both the cap and the rev share and those pieces. Let's transition to Woodstock. our new location coming up in Woodstock. Tell us a little bit about what you love about Woodstock and why you think this is going to be such a great move.
Oh man, Woodstock is just exploding in growth right now. That is absolutely the word I use to think of Woodstock. You get that small town feel, that helping out your neighbor vibe, just very quaint, but at the same time, you get all the conveniences of the city. It is absolutely tons of development, new construction, new houses. Yep. So again, it's the best of both worlds. I call it the little Goldilocks community.
Yeah, I've been in downtown Woodstock a good amount, but more recently, and it is impressive. I mean, the amount of growth and the things that you feel like you used to have to come into the city 20 years ago to do. Why would you? Why would you leave?
You tend to get kind of stuck in the little bubble. And it is. Woodstock's amazing, but it's really cool too because of the location and it's so interconnected with all of the surrounding communities. Yep. So if you live and love Woodstock, that also typically means that you're within that bubble and live and love right around there. So East Cobb, my kids play sports there. Marietta Square, we love Chalktoberfest, events there. Going over into Roswell, one of my kids actually goes to school in Roswell, all the way up to Canton. If you want a community similar to Woodstock that's absolutely booming and growing, and some of the larger properties, country clubs, golf. It's really cool to see that we're all very interconnected. And so it's an incredible area.
Yeah, so many options. That's awesome. You prepared something fun for us today, I believe.
Yes.
Because you are always prepared. Well, much more prepared than I am. Give me Romie's Woodstock top 5.
Top 5. Okay, so I actually had a hard time narrowing it down to that, but I had to start with rooftop restaurants. I love to get together with friends, family, and when the weather's beautiful, then that's, extra special, makes it fun, be outside. But thankfully, we have a lot of options that are heated and cooled when it's August in Atlanta. So that is great that we have a lot of those options for rooftop. So rooftop restaurants, I think Woodstock takes the lead on. Outdoor, I love our outdoor spaces. We are completely interconnected with trails and parks. Oh,
that's so good.
So whether it's, you like mountain biking or kids in all of the parks with the playgrounds, there's just so much outdoor life and it's all interconnected. And Little River, if you like being outside, there's endless options there. Yep. So that'd be number 2. Number 3, I love Wind Down Wednesday. A midweek break up the monotony. A lot of times you're looking forward to the weekend. Well, we have Wind Down Wednesdays.
You've made it halfway. Let's celebrate.
Made it halfway. Let's get together with friends. There's live music. There's half-price wine. The whole community comes together. I really enjoy Wind Down Wednesday. Farmers market would be my top pick though. I love our Saturdays farmers market. It is kind of the best of all the worlds where the whole community comes together. There's all kinds of things you can buy and treats and snacks, and it's at the park too. So everyone's out there and with the dogs, kind of embraces all things Woodstock of that small town feel. So Saturday farmers market would probably be my number 1.
Awesome. Those 4 are awesome. What's number 5?
Number 5 would be the community events. We have, there's always something happening in Woodstock. Right now, it's the free summer concert series at the amphitheater. So the entire community coming for concerts. We're getting ready for fall and all the pumpkin patches. And there's some fun competition with the businesses and creating scarecrows. So that is always fun that everybody comes out. So there's always something happening in Woodstock. So I love the community events.
And I love the inside scoop. Thanks for sharing that. All right, Romie, if there's someone listening who they're an agent, they live in Woodstock or one of those surrounding communities, what would you say to them about considering joining Bolst Woodstock and kicking it off with you?
Come join. Absolutely. No, it's incredible that it's all of the things that we've talked about that we love about Woodstock and all of the things that are true and valuable there and caring about the community. And it pairs so well with Bolst and the things and the values and the alignments there. It's a perfect intertwining of those. So if you care about your community and want to be involved in that, involved in real estate and making a difference, those are all the things that we really care about. It's going to be all about creating that culture, continuing growing that culture and giving back.
I love it. If you want to do good business in Woodstock and you want to do good in Woodstock, come do both of those with us.
I love it. Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you want to talk directly with Romie, you want to have a confidential conversation about potentially joining Bolst Woodstock or finding out more about it, I've got a link below. You can schedule directly on her calendar. For everybody else, thanks so much for watching again this week. Make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and I'll see you again next week.